Hello everyone. Welcome to Let's Have Some Streams, Halloween edition. Year 2024, there we go. I'm like, wait a minute. Hold on, I'm forgetting something. Alrighty folks, I am your host, Tara DeFox. Hello and welcome to all. Especially to you, Noreem, hello and welcome. More Rage, maybe, possibly. I'm not too sure. I believe this is more of a visual novel game that we are once again playing. Also a pretty long one too. This actually might exceed over the month of October. But like I said yesterday, it's no big deal if it exceeds it, because I still don't know what game to play after Halloween time, along with Breath of the Wild, so it's all good. It's all good. And I think we need this though. I think we need this. Like something a little casual, something relaxing after that game. Did you finish Alien? Yes, we did. We beat that stupid Alien game. We did it. Now I just want to play something relaxing and casual.
Ow! Ow!
Apparently, Foxy wanted to yeet herself. Okay, fair enough. You know, fair enough. I can't control her half the time, you know. She comes whenever I ask her to, but then the other time she's just like, wee! I'll do it myself. Wee! It's literally called Raging Loop. Yep, Raging Loop. So, yeah, not too sure what's going on with this, but visual novel. We're gonna speed that up, please. Auto text, skip. Sound effect volume. Alright, this might mean they speak there's an English version, or? Oh. That's what it is. Okay, that was weird. Just Leo, hello and welcome.
Moing.
Oh, we do have character voices. Are they in English? That's the good question. No. Let's keep it on high for now. Wow, there's a lot of freaking people. Okay. And knowing this game, probably not. It's gonna have its original voice actors, but it is what it is. How are you doing? I am tired. This actually might be a short stream. I don't know why. It's my night off last night, but I just could not sleep. So I'm just like, okay, I guess I'm just gonna try to trek through this. Wish me luck, everybody. You get to have voices! Yahoo! Here we go! Did we finish Alien? Yes, we beat it yesterday, and I was so happy. I'm like, okay, I'm good not playing that game anytime soon.
Pekori. ようこそノベルアドベンチャーゲームレイジングループの世界へ。
Okay. Okay, we are going to... We're going to... Yeah. There we go. I bid you welcome to the world of this visual novel, Raging Loop. I am nobody special, honestly. Simply consider me part of the interface. You may refer to me as Rikako. You're most likely playing this game for the first time, and I'm here to explain a few things about it. Oh, we got a tutorial. All right. Nobody told me on Discord, even I asked for it. Oh, did you? I'm sorry. I was like so done with the game last night that I'm just like, I'm not touching anything till tomorrow. I don't think I was even on my computer like last night at all. Hey, I apologize. But yeah, Alien is finished. Gave my final thoughts. So yeah. This work is quite strange, you see. It's recommended that uninitiated take the time to read everything here. Those uploading their gameplay should at least read the 4-point videos and sharing section. Oh. Interesting. Is this like an actual thing I should do? So did you end up going longer than expected to finish it? Yes. Like by the time I wanted to call it quits, it kept giving me like not autosaves, checkpoint saves. Like not manual saves, but checkpoint saves for some reason. So I'm like, oh, well, if I find a regular save, I'm just gonna stop there. I'm just so done with it. But then checkpoint save, checkpoint save, checkpoint save, checkpoint save. And I'm like, oh, okay. I kept doing that, waiting for official save until I beat the game. So I'm like, oh, well, okay. It wasn't that much longer. It was like an extra hour long, or hour longer than usual. So, no big deal. If you read until the end, you'll find a sexy CG of me. It doesn't exist. We truly do live in a society, a harsh society. How sad. What? Now, where should I begin? I'm curious about the video sharing. What is this? Raging Loop is a visual novel, meaning that the story, events, and conclusions are very important. Because of this, it would be very troubling if someone uploaded everything to the internet. I'd be sad. Very sad. Then again, we do understand those who want to enjoy the work with many other people. Because of this, we have set a guideline for how we would like you to upload. Alright guys, pay close attention now. Pay close attention. Does this still have jump scares? I'm not too sure. I mean, if it's like Deathmark, then I guess they kind of do. But again, I have no idea. I'm going in blind. This range covers the whole first main route and a little extra. Specifically, you can only upload until the choice at 4 infiltrations queue entering the village. That's a lot, just so you know. I'm sure you'll have good enough content for your uploads. I just think it's a bit too much. Uploaders who read everything aloud might get a sore throat. Please don't overdo yourselves. All right? Fuck my throat. I'll keep going as long as I want. Rikako. Also, if you tend to upload, please use the reminder function. If you have it set it on, when you reach the time to stop making a video, a strange sheep hops onto the screen and says, "End of the line." We'd be grateful if you stop recording when you see him and try theorizing and arguing instead. This function is currently set to off. Very interesting. Very interesting that they're requesting you not to even finish the game of recording. Okay. If you wish to change it, please go to, well, okay, whatever. That is a very ballsy move of the developers to ask, like, not to share the whole entire thing. Maybe not like all routes. I could kind of see their point in that aspect, but it's like, do we fault for finishing the game? Or at least recording wise, I should say. I think the game is one of those that hate being recorded because they don't want you to share it so others buy it. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Which is kind of silly to me, honestly, but I mean, to each their own, obviously. To each their own. I see why people are like that, though. It's like PlayStation Now, where some of the games literally block recording cutscenes? Really? You saw the jump scares warning on screen. Yep, it's going to stay there until the end of the month, because I have no idea if this game even has jump scares. By the way, Pakushi, hello and welcome. I apologize for the delay on that. Raging Loop is a visual novel. Much like the regular novels, the story is told through text, so the enjoyment comes from reading it. If you're familiar with the party games Werewolf and Mafia, this visual novel bears a close resemblance to those, but keep in mind, it's just that, a resemblance. Sincerest apologies to those who are hoping to play an eternal game of Werewolf with 20 super Rikakos. I weep and bleed for you, truly. How sad. Of course, this is not merely a novel. As you carry on, you will sometimes come upon choices which will affect the story. It's quite amazing. Characters have lively visual depictions as well as voices, make it easy to immerse yourself in this world. To enjoy the voices to the fullest extent or simply avoid bothering your neighbors with the sound of anguished screams, please consider using headphones. The story is obscenely lengthy as well, so please take care not to be drawn in so thoroughly that you begin losing sleep. Also, you may be aware of this already, but Raging Loop is based entirely around fabricated murders and horrific scenarios. It's tailor-made for all you fans of suspense, thrillers, horrors, and mystery. Of course, this is a work of fiction, so it has nothing to do with real people, groups, and incidents. It also includes fictional details about accidents, academic matters such as history, religion, mythology, science, and medicine. Relying upon it during exams will get you 0 points. How sad. Also, we do not endorse replicating the crimes and cruelty depicted in this work. There's nothing to worry about as long as you differentiate between reality and fiction. This is, after all, fiction. I'm sure you're intelligent enough not to conflate things that happen in the game world with things that happen in real life, so enjoy Raging Loop to your heart's content. Damn. Rikako's spitting some facts right here. Goddamn, girl. Alright, what about special functions? What are we looking at here? Well, allow me to tell you about Raging Loop's special functions. Raging Loop's story branches out in ways so complicated it might be hard to follow. But there's no need to worry, for we have included a handy function called the scenario chart. You can access it many times by simply opening a menu, give you an overview of the scenario. Okay, well. Okay, I could care less about that. Next is keys. All branching in the story happens immediately when you make a choice, so them start taking effect further down the line. However, some of the choices can only be unlocked when you have specific bits of information called keys. Many might say searching for these keys is one of the major goals in this game. Don't worry if you don't understand how to search for them, it will be explained when you have one. Additionally, keep in mind that all routes unlocked by acquisition of a key will be open even if you haven't saved for after the fact. This also means that you can't load back to a save when you didn't have the key. Okay, interesting. Credit visual novel needs pages of disclaimers. Don't murder people? Okay, sure, whatever, narc. It's just like their own unique way of saying, this is a work of fiction. Alright, I think we're good. So obviously we're not going to do all the routes, that's just too much work, because this is a long enough story as it is. So we're just going to choose whatever route I feel is best, but we won't go back and like re-upload it, unless it's like a bullshit unless it's something like bullshit happened. But I'll try to like avoid like re-uploading, like let's try to keep the route that we're stuck in, so I think it'll be a bit more interesting. Phew, that sure took a while. Thank you kindly for reading this far. Anyway, let's begin the story. Beyond the pockets of mist and hazes of blood, at the end of the ever-repeated despair or grief, please come and witness the truth of the werewolf village with your own 2 eyes. $511. Oh, that number scared me for a little bit there. Whew. Just 4 numbers off. 4 numbers off. Woo. Or it could have been 2 numbers off, and that would have been related to a gas station. I closed in on the side of the road and killed the engine. It was steeper than I thought. My bike was on the verge of giving out, so I pushed down and deployed the kickstand. Oh, damn. Summer do be looking nice. Oh, the trees in the background, maybe not so much. Like, whoa. Like, the trees up front here are fine, but the ones way back behind the guy are like, ooh. Yeah, maybe some lines here and there inside the trees instead of just shading, but you know what? That's just me. Well, I'm lost. Oh, dude, I feel your grief. Maybe taking a ride down an unknown road with no Sanov on me wasn't such a good idea. I just followed the road, so I figured I wouldn't get lost, but now I was in some deep shit. No, cool it. This isn't a big deal. I sighed. Took note of the fact that I'd gotten lost in my pocket journal and then pulled out a map. Suddenly, a rush of memories flooded into my mind. Oh. Oh, I can't do anything. Alright, forget it.
Forget about it.
I somehow kept myself from remembering those things. After all, I'd gone on this trip to forget. Enough of that. I gotta focus on what's happening right now. Life is simple, just like this road. It's dark and there aren't any guides, but that means all you gotta think about is whether you go forward or back. Going back wasn't an option in this case, so I just moved forward. Still, I wanted to know where I was. At least, so I looked down on my map. Cybernetic Susurrus, hello and welcome. Given your talk of roots, should I assume you have limited knowledge of Raging Group? Very, very limited. No spoilers. Like, keep me in the dark. Keep me in the dark. I don't want to know anything. Nothing. Nobody. Now, if something has already passed, and then it's like, oh, it's not going to affect anything of the future gameplay, then it's like, yeah, we can start talking about it, but... Very limited knowledge. Because you may possibly have misapprehension of its structure and length. Ah, okay. Alright, fair enough, fair enough. Which is pretty much a lot of video games, though. Especially if, like, complicated formulas or something like that. Complicated, but we'll figure it out eventually. If not, we'll keep running into a wall until we figure it out. Still, I wanted to know where it was, at least, so I looked down on my map. It was all Greek to me. Last time I see the sign, it was still light out, meaning that I'd gotten lost after the sun had set. Oh, damn. Sure, it was my own fault for just guessing which intersections I'd be passing through, and that it'd take me 2 hours to conclude that I was lost. Crazy to think that just 2 hours of aimless driving got me almost completely surrounded by mountains. They extended as far as the eye could see. If you flipped the scenery upside down and shook it, it's unlikely even a shred of civilization would tumble out. Mirin Heka, hello and welcome. I'm a little tired, but we'll see how long we make the stream last for. Hope things have been well on your end. Besides the asphalt below, my sweet ride, and the lamppost above, the first one in a while, mind you, there was nothing man-made here. The pocket map I had wasn't detailed enough for me to figure out where I was. Guess I'll just keep driving. I had to go as far as I could. Worst comes to worst, I could just camp at the side of the road. Two hours later, I deeply regretted ever thinking that. Basically, camping wasn't an option. This mountain road had no side to camp on. A dump truck I passed barely even fit on it. I'd also had my first close encounters with wild forest animals. I'd already seen 2 boars and 3 deer in those 2 hours alone. One of the deer had run parallel to my bike, which intentionally staring at me, and I had no idea what to think of that. I felt like it could smell my fear and did it just to make it worse. How dare the thing do that to a human? We're the kings of this planet? Damn it, I'd have to remember to eat some venison once I keep back to civilization? What? This guy is upset that a deer ran next to him? In a mountain, probably full of forests and full of animals. He's doing it 'cause he's upset because he's riding a bike next to... What? Haruaki is a very normal man. He's a strange one, but nothing crazy yet. Normal things normal people think. Anyway, camping out here was a bad idea. I'd end up as either roadkill or animal food. Yeah, I didn't back out. Why? Because I'm a pretty warped sort of guy, and I won't pretend otherwise. That was actually the reason why my once comfortable relationship had gone awry, and why I'd gone on this stupid trip. Relationship? Still, despite acknowledging that, I chose to keep moving forward. It wasn't like I'd find a place to stay if I went back. I was actually starting to think that this experience might make a good conversation piece sometime down the road. It was really getting late at this point. Where would these roads take me anyway? It'd probably be disappointing. Soon enough, the road became flat. I was out of the mountain pass. The forest remained abundant though, so I still didn't see much. Even so, the streetlights and signs were enough to make me feel I was again nearing civilization. Was streetlights the right expression for lights in a forest? I'd have to look that up. As the road grew less rugged, I realized just how exhausted I was. All this bike handling had left my hands really sore too. I really had to rest. Suddenly, I saw something unexpected. Powerful, colorful, artificial lights. A convenience store? At the convenience store. Yeah, that's exactly what it was. Fresh Marky? Fresh Mark? Fuck the tea. Who believes in teas in the market? I don't. At least this game certainly doesn't. Fuck them teas. I was next to an intersection between the road I was on and another, even thinner road that could probably support only a single car. The sea of trees ended, giving room for the most majestic child of our consumerist society. Yeah, that was an exaggeration. Apparently even a damn store was a big deal for someone who just stepped out of the wild. It was called Fresh Mark. I'd seen several of them a few times during the day. It was probably a local franchise. The building didn't look all that old. At least the parking lot looked a lot smoother compared to the roads. That was a pretty weird place to build something like that, though. Was it close to a settlement, or did they actually make a profit off of lost travelers? I just asked that or something. A local shopkeeper was bound to know what was around these parts, not to mention I was thirsty. I was welcomed by a weird chime sound. It looked like a normal convenience store. There were goods on the shelves, a counter on the left, and... What? The worker at the counter was so mean-looking, it was scary. She was so imposing. I wouldn't have doubted if someone told me she was in charge of some ladies' army corps. Hey. Was that supposed to be a greeting? It was so damn cold, it actually gave me chills. Was this store shadier than it appeared? Was I about to be stupidly overcharged? Was this how this place made a profit? By taking advantage of lost people and basically beating them out of their money? Shit, that was scary. Clearly the Wonderland had only just begun. Woohoo! I sure was excited for the beating. I grew more nervous and less enthusiastic by the second. I braced myself, but she just looked down at the magazine in her hands. Oh, so it's just a slacker. Silly disappointed, I walk around the store. Why are you disappointed? You were freaking out that you were about to get the shit beaten out of you. What the fuck? What? This man has, interesting thoughts. Very interesting thoughts. Oh, Shubi. It's about what you'd expect. There's a small shelf with energy drinks, followed by some stationaries, travel goods, and sanitary stuff, etc., etc. I know so many people who love a mean girl to beat them. Is that usually a fetish, though? Are those usually associated with a fetish of sorts, not just... Not quite in this context, but what do I know, honestly? There were sweets that came with toys, a shelf of cup ramen and dried food, a fridge, a freezer. It all looked normal. It was late, so the daily dish and packed lunch section was completely empty. The only special thing about this place was a section full of unpacked vegetables you'd expect to see at a green grocer's. Maybe all rural convenience stores were like this. I was totally surprised by that, but there weren't any local fine foods or anything. So all in all, it was an unremarkable store. If you ignored the clerk, anyway. I took a drink and brought it to the register. Yep, she really was the highlight of this place. What kind of clerk smokes while dealing with a customer? You're actually buying? Yes, I was actually buying. She was the clerk, and I be her god, the customer. That's a fucking statement right there. She was the clerk, I'd be her god, the customer. Holy shit. Maybe this is why I hated customer service back when I worked there. Oh my god. All the customers felt like they were gods. What? 126 yen. She didn't even scan it. This exchange was at the mercy of the clerk. God is dead. What? Aren't we supposed to be God to the clerk? Why are we dead now? What is going on? I am your God, your customer. Now we're saying we're dead because God is dead apparently. What is this writing? Okay, chill up, puny God. Here's your mocha frappuccino. Snooze. Stupid ad, shut up. Maybe I had to get mad at her. Can I ask something? I'm kinda lost right now. I quickly turned meek. Where can I find the nearest town? There. Don't you have a map or something? We don't. Man, this woman. I'm not sure I believe that. Convenience stores often get asked for directions. You must have a map handy. That a rule? Well, we don't have one. Go back wherever you came from. I've been lost for a few hours now. I don't think I can keep it up for much longer. Sleep on the floor or something. She had to be joking. I appreciate the sentiment, but I'd rather be on my way. Are you sure you can't help? Alright, just wait. The clerk put out her smoke in an ashtray and went to the staff-only area. She came back in no time. Found it. So she did have a map. Of course she did. Even more ill-tempered than usual, the clerk started giving me an explanation. This here's the store. Go to the north of the crossroads. You'll find an overpass soon enough. Cross it. When you come to the fork connects to a giant boulder, turn right and head straight. On this road? What of it? There's nothing there. There's a settlement. It's just not on the map. Do you know any other places? There's Fujiyoshi, but it's 2 hours through a mountain pass. This one's about 30 minutes away. Fujiyoshi seemed to be a village. It didn't look too far away, but the road leading to it was a huge branching mess. It was clearly just a paved mountain pass. I'd had enough of these for one day. I'd probably just get lost again. I'll get to that one then. Thank you. Money. Excuse me? You didn't pay for the tea. Here's 500 yen. Huh. Ding! Why'd you put the change in the collection box without asking me? Having too many coins is a pain, ain't it? That was a hell of a line. I casually thanked her, grabbed the plastic bottle of tea, she didn't even give me a bag by the way, and left the store. I drank the tea in the parking lot and looked up at the moon, obscured by clouds, but still bright enough to outshine the light of the convenience store. The clerk put me in a bad mood though, so I didn't enjoy the sight. I threw the bottle into a nearby trash can and aggressively drove away. Following the directions, I crossed the overpass and arrived at the first fork on the road. The byway she told me about was really narrow. I probably wouldn't have noticed it were it not for the tall boulder, sitting there like a roadside shrine for some traveler deity. Turning carefully, I got on the road. A minute later, I found myself on an even worse wilderness than before. A veil of dead leaves covered the ground. Tall grass sided the path, and the sky was blocked by overgrown shrubs, making it feel like I was passing a wooden tunnel. The road itself was a huge red flag. It was a wonder why I didn't just turn around. The exchange from before might have pissed me off more than I thought. Still, I really didn't expect the road to just end. It happened about 15 minutes in. The view ahead suddenly turned strangely dark, and a split second later, the bike tipped forward. I reflexively hit the brakes, but it was too late. I started going down a cliff. My bike tilted downwards, and its suspension was put to the greatest test yet, as we basically tumbled down to the bottom. The headlights suddenly shone on some dirt and grass. I knew then that I'd be flung out of my seat. Stifling a scream, I tried to work some steering and brake magic to slow down without collapsing. That was too big of a task for a simple road bike. At the bottom of the cliff, it jumped higher than ever before. The suspension couldn't handle the impact, and I was launched into the air. A moment later, I heard a crash and felt an impact, after which came an unpleasant pain.
Owie.
Damn it! An accident where I was flung out like that was the first for me. The launch was really something too. I did a 360 in the air and fell on my back. My breathing stopped for a moment, and the pain was so bad I thought all of my bones shattered. My face and limbs seemed pretty fine, at least. Well, I wasn't sure if that counted as a silver lining. There was a grass under my hands. I felt it even through the gloves. That and the smell of the green made it pretty clear what I landed on. I pushed down and my hands sunk. This grass growth was pretty hefty. It was probably the reason why I came out relatively okay. Man, some soft-ass grass, apparently. Shut up, ads. Sure, my joints creaked when I stood up, but aside from that, I was fine. It was really dark, so I couldn't really confirm it, but I was pretty sure I wasn't bleeding. My bike, however, wasn't nearly as lucky. Oh, boy. It was laying on its side a short distance ahead. The engine was still on. The back wheel kept on turning, making an unpleasant fricative noise? Fricative noise? Fricative noise. Fricative? I have no idea what that word is. Ads? Yeah, ads still technically play. So I'm just snoozing my ads right now.
Tell them to shut the hell up.
Frick is right. Fricative like friction. Ah, okay. Fair enough, thank you. Yep, it was busted. I walked up, killed the engine, and took the key. And threw it off a cliff cause fuck that noise. With the headlights off, I was surrounded by absolute darkness, so I just stood and waited until my eyes adjusted. I still couldn't see very clearly, but it looked like this actually wasn't a cliff. I was still on a road. It just wasn't paved beyond this point. Obviously, a road bike stood no chance against an unpaved road. That woman actually tried to kill me. Zigzagging through the trees, I followed the narrow footpath deeper into the forest. I tried to get my bike up and running again, but instantly gave up. It was partially stuck in mud, so there was a risk of it slipping and getting me into another accident. Maybe I had to turn around. The moment I considered that, I thought I saw a faint light ahead. If that woman wasn't lying, this road led to a settlement. Was I close? I reached into my jacket's pocket and took out my phone and opened it up. As you'd expect, I was out of range. I ran the light app and shone a light to see better. Though weak, it was better than nothing. At the very least, it helped me watch where I was going. I had no idea how long I'd been walking for. But sure enough, I could see a light beyond the shrubs. It was weaker than expected, a flashlight perhaps. I could hear water too. I might have been near a river. Hello? Fix up a blowout! I raised my voice. Hello? Anyone there? Fix up a blowout! Still declaring my presence, I walked forward. It was late at night. Were I to bump into someone here, the scare would probably take away a few years of our lives. It was why I figured it was best for us to both let the other know we were here before what happened. However, there was no response. Could they not hear me over the rapids? Hello? Fix up a blowout! I shone my light ahead and realized I had made it to an opening. Sure enough, there was a river. Or a stream, rather. I could see slightly more than I had while surrounded by trees. Straining my eyes, I saw a rocky river beach in the shallows. The light I'd seen was on the other side. From what I could tell, it was either a lantern or a flashlight, and it was close to the foreground. I didn't see any people, though. No one responded to my shouting, either. Oh, excuse me. I told you, folks, I'm tired. I wasn't excited about it, but I decided to step into the water. The cold water quickly soaked my boots and socks. I could have taken them off, but I figured that crossing river barefoot at midnight was a bad idea. But man, was it cold! Put my phone back into my jacket. I need both my hands free in case I fell. Not stopping or backing down, I walked toward the light. It slowly became deeper, the water reaching my knees now. That was too close for comfort. Feeling the bottom with my toes and balancing myself, I somehow avoided losing my footing. The flow was fiercer than I'd expected. If I slipped and fell, I'd probably be washed away. It suddenly hit me I was doing something really weird, but it was too late to back down. Putting my hands on the boulders and carefully checking what I was stepping on, I gradually made it to the other side. Then, with an unpleasant wet sound in my every step, I walked up to the light. I could already see it clearly. Yep, it was a flashlight lying on the ground for some reason. Okay. There wasn't much space here. Oh, excuse me, god damn it. Could at least wait until an hour later, yawns. You know, maybe an hour after stream, then we can start doing the yawns. Nope, it has to be done now, folks. It has to be done now. There wasn't much space here. It was a narrow riverbank with a cliff right beside it. As you'd expect, I didn't see or sense anyone nearby. Wait, sense? Well, I guess somebody's like close enough to you can kind of sense somebody's there, but if they're like far away, then it's like, you got a sixth sense, buddy? What the hell? Though old, the flashlight was working fine. The strength of the light told me the battery was pretty full. That meant that someone was actually using this tonight, or rather, until just a few moments ago. That was the most logical conclusion. It obviously wasn't left here yesterday afternoon or evening. And yet the user was nowhere in sight, and I was near a river. Did something bad happen? Well, there goes my squeaky chair. Me not being subtle at all with my movements. Did the flashlight's owner step into the stream and get swept away? That was the most likely and worst possible scenario. However, the flashlight was left there practically buried in the pebbles. It didn't seem like someone placed it there to light things up. It was the dead of night. There was no way you wouldn't notice dropping your flashlight when it was so dark. Right? The fact that a light source was left in a place like this was strange by itself. With that considered, what was going on here? What if someone heard my stupid shouting and decided to lure me in with a light so they could ambush me? Where would they attack from? Above? Hello? Oh shit, hello. I heard a voice the moment I looked up. The rock cliff was actually made of several boulders. There's a face peeking from behind one of them. Hello?
Wow, a person! You surprised me!
That was my line.
Sorry, could you pick that up for me?
The voice was feminine. I finally realized what was going on. So you dropped this. I picked up the flashlight and pointed it at the source of the voice. A high-pitched voice, slender hands shielding the light. Sure enough, it was a young woman.
It's so bright!
Oh, sorry. This is me. Okay. Our protagonist is very interesting. I will say that.
That's creepy. Don't shine it from above like that.
I'm actually a bit lost.
I think a bit is something of an understatement then.
Yeah, I thought as much. Is this a settlement?
That's a difficult question.
Can you help me out at least?
Help?
I just need a place to hide from the rain and wild animals. That's all. Standing on a boulder, the young woman made a pensive face.
Want to come to my place?
And that was the conclusion she arrived at. Her face told me she was 100% serious. Place. My place. By that, she surely meant a house. A settlement. Can I? I know I asked for help and all that, but I'm actually desperate enough to not hold myself back.
Huh? As a man?
Jesus Christ. Yes. I mean, no, I was a living being. I spent the last few hours aimlessly driving around only to fall off my bike. I'm dead tired and at my wit's end here.
Oh dear, then what kind of living being would I be if I just abandoned you?
And so I was saved. Oh, the beauty of living beings looking out for each other.
Anyway, your hand, please?
Hmm?
You can't climb up on your own, yeah?
True. Honestly, I didn't even realize I'd have to. Meeting another person filled me with relief, which was followed by a sudden wave of fatigue. It wasn't crippling, though. She extended her left hand, so I grabbed it with my own left. Her slender fingers were stronger than expected. The girl's name was Shiemi Serizawa. I asked if she was related to the Shinsengumi guy, but she said that her family just adopted the name at some point in the Meiji period. She was a 21-year-old who went to a college far away from here. This was her hometown, and she was spending her post-exams vacation here. We chatted about stuff like that once she led me out of the rocky ravine. There was actually a proper path, so the rock climbing was pretty pointless. I was too focused on my footing to comment. She told me about herself as soon as we reached solid ground.
And what about you?
I am Haruaki Fusayashi. I'm gonna butcher these names like crazy, goddamn. A graduate student in Tokyo College.
You're a bit older.
I'm 24, so 3 years I'd say. We're in the same age range.
Yeah, so don't you dare be formal with me.
Alright then. You can also be casual with me too.
Can I really?
I like it when girls are friendly with me.
Well, I know what you mean. I don't like socializing either. Sure, I'll treat you like a friend.
Wouldn't have it any other way. That aside, are we there yet?
Not quite. We're like 5 minutes away. Hang in there, Chief.
What a lively girl. You could tell she was used to people.
Also, what's your step to focus on just the light?
Any reason?
There are loads of pebbles here. It's dangerous.
The moment she said that, I stumbled on a rock too big to be called a pebble.
And it's pretty dark tonight.
I couldn't even see the moon anymore. Nodding in agreement, I focused on following the light in her hand.
I gotta change. Wait here a second.
And so I did just that. Given this was a mountain settlement, I'd expect some old wooden house, but she actually lived in an apartment block. It was too dark to get a good look at it. I could see where the cheap-looking walls, like you expect from some old boarding house for students. Also, she lived on the second floor, in room 202. I'd heard some raindrops as we were climbing the rusty stairs, but now it was really pouring. Between that, the darkness and the large tree right next to the building, it was nearly impossible to see what was going on outside. It felt like I was all alone in a world of nothing but the walls, the door, and the fluorescent lamp above my head. It made me feel somewhat helpless. I distracted myself by that by imagining her changing. Eventually the door opened up.
Sorry about the wait. Come in.
All smiles, she showed herself, now wearing sports clothes. This was kind of exciting. Whoa, dude, calm yourself, man, calm yourself.
Look at this place. It's completely empty, right?
Huh? Yep.
But get a load of what's in the fridge.
Ooh, magnificent.
Let's drink.
Hell yeah. Yeah, her place really was empty. There was just a small room with a low table in the middle, a fridge near a door, and a large duffel bag deeper in. There were 2 old-looking bookshelves too, but they weren't completely empty. I wasn't bothered by it, one bit though. Any girl's room was in Wonderland to me.
Anyway, you went through some big trouble, so I'll drink to you.
And I'll drink to you too for helping me out. You're a real saint. We opened up our cans, knocked them together, and downed them. Yeah, it was actually good. The pleasant bitterness and the refreshing carbonation made it for a good combo.
So good. I'd live for this.
Come on, you're too young to say that.
Yeah, you're right. I'm not despairing for my future or love life yet.
You hear that? That's the sound of job hunting. It's a-comin' here fast.
No, don't say that. You'll ruin my beer.
She laughed and took a huge sip. It was pretty clear she could hold her drink. That aside, something really bothered me. This might be a bit late for this, but can I ask you something?
Go ahead.
Her cheeks were already red. Maybe she didn't handle her liquor as well as I thought. She had a well-featured face, and I didn't think it was wrong to consider her beautiful. Sure, her clothes weren't the least bit sexy, but I could tell she had some makeup on. To you, I'm just some stranger who says he's lost, right?
Yep.
And you yourself are a young woman who invited that stranger into an enclosed space and started getting drunk.
Oh?
Do you think this is dangerous? She kept gulping the drink even as she formulated a response. The fact that I could just watch her do that made this pretty risky situation, and yet...
I wouldn't say so.
But...
Time for a Shimi Surisawa quiz.
Yay.
Here's a question. My virginity is threatened, yet I don't feel like I'm in danger. Why?
Okay. Okay. This game has got me concerned. It even got my chair concerned with how much it's squeaking. Yeesh.
What
a fun girl. This only made me like her more, increasing the danger even further. Am I allowed to ask questions?
Sure.
Can I just assume that it's not because I look like a good guy?
Well, I don't think you look like a bad guy, but no, I doubt you're good either. You look experienced with women, for one.
That unintentional compliment showed that she actually did see me as a potential danger. There are two types of answers to this. Either you expect nothing bad to happen, but wouldn't be bothered if it did, or you actually want something to happen. I can think of several situations for the former. For example, you're actually on the edge and don't care about what happens. Or maybe you're just confident you can defend yourself. Maybe you know martial arts and can easily kick my ass.
Whoa, so logical. Let me guess, you're a scientist?
Well, I guess you could say that. Now for the latter. If you intend for something to happen, then...
I'm a thirsty perv or something?
Wow. Talk about not mincing words.
I blame the booze. So what else is there?
Indeed, what other reason could a woman have to bring a stranger to her home? It would surely be something non-standard like... You want to use me somehow. For example, setting me up as an alibi. I could be useful to you by attesting that you are here.
Whoa, that's so shrewd!
Or maybe you're a serial killer who brought me here just to get me drunk and kill me.
Whoa, so I'm some evil mountain witch now? Sounds great. I'll kill you real good. Smash, smash.
What kind of sound effect was that?
By the way, you forgot another case.
I did?
Yep, I could be just a really good person who simply wants to help you.
Was it time for me to be ashamed of my filthy mind? But wait, is that really important enough to risk being assaulted?
Oh, so you're thinking of assaulting me.
I'm just talking in general, you know, the cliche scenario. And maybe a few of the pornos, the hentais, the porno scenarios, you know what I mean. You know what I mean. She stopped talking and turned red. It was so cute I thought she was actually doing it on purpose. Man, was she drunk. And we were just on our second cans.
Then how about this? If I don't let you stay here, something even worse would happen and I'd feel real bad.
Care to elaborate?
There's some scary wild animals around here. You might have gotten torn up and eaten. That had left a bad taste in my mouth, so I figured I'd let you stay instead.
I see. So you're balancing risk and goodwill. Didn't expect that.
Really now? You got any idea how much of a bad guy you seem now?
Huh? I do?
I mean, you assumed I was a thirsty perv, a serial killer, or needed an alibi before considering I was just a nice person.
You're the one who brought up the perv thing, not me.
Details, Meatles. So what's the right answer?
Huh? We're not just messing around?
Get it right and I'm giving you a nice present. Get it wrong and you're dead. Splash, splash.
Seriously? Well, there's a secret one, but we don't have keys, so... You'd feel guilty if you let me die. Oh, wow, that's a lucky answer.
Ding, 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 you're right.
Oh, cool.
Well, I wasn't joking when I said this area is dangerous. There's deer, boars, wild hogs, and bears.
I actually saw deer and boars myself, but bears?
Yep, moon bears though. They aren't big, but they do attack. It's pretty dangerous out there.
That's just wild.
There's something even worse.
What? Worse than bears?
Snakes, monkeys, crows, spiders.
Huh? Were they venomous or something? I really doubted that. Those really didn't seem worse than bears.
Also wolves.
There aren't any wolves in Japan.
Yeah, they are. You're in the sticks, you know.
She smiled to drink out of the third can.
Speaking of wolves, what other reason? You ended up coming into a pretty girl's home. Would you become a wolf yourself?
Nope.
What a gentleman. Have another one.
I wasn't too sure, but I felt like she dodged the subject. Perhaps I wasn't being cautious enough. But then again, I've been wandering aimlessly for a time by now. I had enough recklessness in me to enjoy sharing a drink with a cute, if shady, girl. Alright, so the day after. Nice. The last thing I remembered was our little... When was the last time you pissed yourself while sleeping? Talk. I just tell her about the time I got so drunk I wet my pants in the middle of the boarding house. She laughed so hard she started frothing in the mouth and passed out. I woke up with a splitting headache. Oh man, morning already? Light poured in through the frosted window. I pulled out my phone and checked the time. 7 in the morning. I'd gone to sleep somewhere between 2 and 3, which probably wasn't quite enough sleep. At least I didn't wake up to some horror movie scene. The building wasn't in ruins and the girl wasn't actually a skeleton. Though in a way, this might have been worse. She was spread out on the floor on the other side of the meeting table. Her breathing was mixed with some weird gurgling sounds. I hesitantly looked at her. The saint that saved me from the hell I was in last night had puked in the middle of her sleep. Oh my. What was I supposed to do here? As I guess I couldn't really be too harsh on her.
Chimmy-chan.
She wasn't waking up. Well, I just do what little I could. There, that should be good enough. I had to use tons of toilet paper to clean up her mess and flush it down the toilet. It left a stain on the floor, but it was dirty to begin with, so whatever. I'd even wet a towel and cleaned her face. Even then, she showed no signs of waking up. Some of it was on her hair and clothes, but I figured it was best if she took care of that herself. Chimmy-chan! Good morning! First hint of consciousness so far today. I'll be leaving for a bit. Without waiting for a response, I walked to the entrance. She'd have to take a shower and change and all that, so I had to kill time outside. I stepped into my still damp shoes with my bare feet. My socks were in the washing machine with the towels she gave me to wipe my legs, and reached for the doorknob. I opened the door and was greeted by a gust of wind. The raindrops gathered on the leaves of the tree next to the building flew right into my face, making me grimace. The rain from last night was already over. The sky was pretty clear, but despite that, I noticed the visibility of my surroundings was poor. The building was surrounded by leaves. The old structure was basically buried in a forest of trees about as tall as itself. There were branches poking into the exposed hallway. It almost felt like they'd reached out and grabbed me if I wasn't careful. Kind of felt like I was in an overgrown ruin. That was kind of difficult to say for some reason. Turned around and saw the moon, and Shima was just as I left them. Yep, it was all real. I closed the door. There were other rooms in this building, which made me wonder if they were occupied. Hell, I wondered the same thing about the area in general. I pushed the branches aside to see if there was other buildings nearby. Suddenly, something entered my vision. It didn't feel right. Something that shouldn't have been there. The leaves I moved revealed a woman clad in curious clothes. The moment I recognized her as such, she opened her closed eyes. Did her eyes meet? Another strong wind. I shielded my face from the spray of raindrops. When I looked outside again, the woman was nowhere in sight. Was that an illusion? If not, then what? What kind of place was this? It could have been a real Hicksville, a marginal village, a bunch of actual ruins, or an illegal settlement. I had some theories, but I set them aside for now. It seemed like a place worth exploring, regardless. I went down the stairs and found no sign of the woman, or anyone else for that matter. A short distance away from the building, I turned around and sure enough, it was pretty much covered in trees. I went to the place where I saw the woman. There were footprints in the grass here. Maybe I'd find her if I followed them? It led me to an open area. It was unused, but it looked like someone was trying to do something with it. Was it supposed to be a construction site? Even if it was clearly abandoned. There were large rocks and lots of sediment near a prefab. From what I could tell, there had been a giant landslide, which forced them to stop construction. The fact that plant growth was still minimal meant that it happened fairly recently. The footprints seemed to be going down the hill next to the site. Following them, I finally saw something that could be called civilization. There was a set of paddy fields with houses nearby. So this actually was the settlement. What a relief. I decided to keep following the footprints and approach the settlement. I came across another unpaved path that was clearly used by people and cars. It was lined with weeds and bushes reaching up to my waist. It was home to caterpillars and grasshoppers, among other things. Spiders were no exception. There were no shortage of insects there, so it was a good place for a net. I wasn't particularly scared of spiders, but I didn't like them either. At least they were just harmless orb weavers. Regardless, I avoided these bushes, just in case and followed the path like a good city boy I was. There was a large boulder surrounded by grass. It was strangely tall, making it look like it was put there by people. On its dewy surface, there was a gray tree frog, ready to go after the many insects scattered about. I walked a bit further and came across a house with a small field nearby. The field's location made it safe to assume it belonged to the inhabitants. If there were inhabitants anyway, I couldn't see anyone, and just like always, there was grass everywhere. There was another boulder standing next to the house. This one was obviously placed there by a human hand. What was the point? Was it a monument or something? Footprints continued into the field. The mud on the field was full of small, young, but healthy-looking rice plants. If you ignore the standing boulders in the area, the place looked like a normal farming village. I was both relieved and worried at the same time. From what I saw, there weren't any other buildings besides the ones in this settlement. Everything beyond was just mountains, meaning that this place was completely isolated. And I was a complete outsider. There's no way things would go well if I ran into a random local. I belatedly crouched to hide myself a bit. It was probably best for me to go back. Jimmy haven't been looking for me. Might have been looking for me. Suddenly, I heard a sound. I looked for its source and found a speaker on a wooden utility pole in the middle of a small plaza. A morning broadcast? I'd never heard this tune before. It was cheerful at first, but it had some parts that seemed really dark. I found it unsettling. Perplexed, I stopped walking, and what happened next maybe hid myself. There's a person in the area densely surrounded by houses, but they weren't normal. What was up with that appearance? What was that on her face? Though I was a fair distance away, I could see an old woman with some sort of cloth over her face shakily walk out from between the buildings. Oddly enough, there were buildings even there. But even weirder was the fact she walked up to one of them, lightly joined her hands, and bowed her head before it, her face still hidden. Then all was silence. It actually looked like she was revering it. To me, it looked like she was praying to it. This is bad. Really bad. I had wandered into a settlement with a unique culture, to put it lightly. Forget causing trouble, an outsider like me could get killed here. I just turned around and ran for it. I dashed up the hill, past the house, through the construction site, until I arrived back at the apartment building. Kimmy looked like a relatively reasonable person. Maybe she could tell me what was up. It just hit me that the way she described this place was somewhat weird. She basically said it wasn't normal. Or maybe you're a serial killer who brought me here just to get me drunk and kill me.
Whoa, so I'm some evil mountain witch now? Sounds great. I'll kill you real good. Splash, splash.
No way. What if she was actually the bait they used to lure outsiders here? Eventually, broadcast stopped. Kimmy still had to come out of her room. She didn't even respond when I knocked or called out to her. I didn't have to worry about this, right? That just made me inexplicable unease grow worse. What if this was a trap? Was I in a dangerous situation? I had to talk to her. If she was a normal person, anyway. Maybe my best option was to run away right now. I wouldn't know where to run. I couldn't remember the path we'd taken here. Though I was pretty sure we went uphill, so maybe I had to go down? If I avoided the settlement and went back to the mountain stream, I could escape by following the wild roads. That was my best option, even with the difficulties considered. Thankfully, I'd taken my bag with me. I took out a 5,000 yen note and put it in Kimmy's newspaper box. It was payment for last night's beer. The moment I turned around to take my leave, the door to the room next to the staircase opened slightly with a creak. I saw an eye glaring at me through the gap. Ah! Ah! Her high-pitched scream pierced my eardrums. I screamed too, scared shitless, and ran for it. Suddenly I stepped into the wet hallway floor at the bad angle. I fell. Thud, thud, thud.
Haru-chan, what's wrong?
Whoa, who's this old guy?
Who are you? And are you alright?
The reasonable sounding voice prompted me to shake off the pain and raise my head. There were two boys in formal looking school uniforms.
Are you alright?
He repeated the question. Yeah, I was just startled.
Your friends with Shinny?
Shinny? Oh, you mean Chimi-chan?
Are your friends of hers for college? She didn't tell us anyone was visiting.
Oh, I just got into some trouble and she helped me out. There's nothing shady about me. Though I know that's hard to believe.
It really is, old man.
Man, how do I handle this? Anyway, my name's Haruaki Fusayashi.
Chimichangers? Or changers?
I have no idea. What foot should I give you? Whew. Maybe I should switch to a standing position. I'm getting really tired here. Whew. I'm Yusanaga Ori. This is Chikamochi Kamoshida.
Just Mochi is fine.
Good to know. If I called him that, maybe he'd stop calling me old man. I was only 24. And this is Haru-chan. What are you doing? We don't know him. Apparently this Haru-chan was the person who looked at me through the gap in the door and screamed. He seems safe. Come out. A moment later, she slammed the door shut, and after a few moments of hesitation, opened it again. Whoa. 24, you are an old man. No, don't say that. Don't say 24 is old. Ah. Turning to dust already? Oh, man. Oh, man. What am I? Oh, shit, now I understand now. This is why I became a VTuber. Fuck. Oh, it's okay. I knew transferring my brain into a VTuber would, lead to this scenario someday. This, confession we have. What are we, Terra? We are ancient! Does that make us ancient gods, then? Good thing I'm not old yet. You know what? I actually am going to switch to a standing position. Hold on, everybody. I'm just falling asleep, like getting so tired. I'm like, oh god. Those things are moving. Hold on. Sure, they're not things that should be moving. That's fine. Okay.
What are you bunking me for?
Oh, you're trying to wake me up? Alright, that's fair, actually. I don't blame you. Alright. I should be working a little bit better now. She looked like a student too, except her fashion sense was exceptionally flashy. I'm bringing you awake! Wake up! Wake up! Wake up! Wait, I meant bonking. Or did I? With humor and Heka, I can believe both. Who are you? Name's Haruaki Fusashi. I crashed my motorbike nearby and Chimi Shirasawa-san helped me out.
Wait, are you saying you spent the night in her room?
Yeah, I did. She cut my words short with her ear-piercing shriek.
So that's why it was so noisy. What were you thinking? You're not supposed to enter an unmarried girl's room. It's indecent.
What is this, the Middle Ages? Goddamn, girl. Yeah, I was hesitant too, but Chimi-chan was kind enough to let me in.
Why are you acting like you've known her your whole life? Wait, she's not getting out. Don't tell me you...
There's a 5,000 yen note on the door. No, wait, that's not you.
There's a 5,000 yen note on the door.
Your shattering scream. Don't tell me you. No. She just gave me lots of booze. I'm paying back for that.
Chini's body's worth way more than that. How dissolute.
What are these kids saying? Hey, can you help me out? You drank with a girl you just met and she's not coming out. Crap, I had no allies here. What's going on? So the subject of the conversation joined in. Oh, Chimi-chan, can you tell them what happened last night? Something was off about her aura. What happened to the lively girl she'd been yesterday?
Chini, did you? Man, this is embarrassing.
Oh. Wait, hold on. Stop.
I can't be a bride anymore.
What? What the fuck? Man, what a mess. Though Chimi's face was all pale, she was actually grinning. She obviously had a bad hangover, but that didn't stop her from messing around. After calming everyone down, Chimi explained what actually happened. Oh, thank God. How we met in the middle of the night, how she let me stay out of goodwill, how we drank herself silly, and how nothing happened between us.
Man, it's been so long since I drank that much. Because I wasn't prepared for it and puked it out. Sorry you had to see that, Haruki-san.
Hey, I don't mind it. It's college life after all. That Haru-chan girl still looked at me funny. Absurd. Anyway, sorry. I was so tired yesterday that I couldn't refuse her kindness. Well, this is Chini we're talking about. She does whatever she wants.
Is it good? He's got a good reason for being here too, so maybe the elders will understand.
Where did you find him anyway?
Oh, well.
Next to the river, further down. My words made everyone change their expressions.
That's a big deal.
Typical of our just 2 days. Did I say something bad?
I was going to get out sooner or later. We made quite a scene, so I wouldn't be surprised if everyone in Yasumisu already knows.
Hey, what do you mean by 2 people over just 2 days?
Don't touch me, you're filthy!
I wasn't trying to touch her and I wasn't filthy. Sure, I had to have a bath in over a day, but still. Hey you, why is it a big deal?
Teiba's gonna go eee!
What? Well, that sure sounded bad. Also, no, it sounded confusing, not bad. Get it right, bro. Can you tell me more? It's a bit complicated. For now, just keep in mind that this is the countryside. Things are different here than in this city. This guy here is Oribi-kun. Ignored Chimi, and he was the easiest person to talk to. What should I do?
Just leave it to me, alright? It's time for students to eat, isn't it?
Huh? But I want to see where this mess goes! No, you don't. Just go already. We'll catch up. Well, I guess it's best to go separately. There's probably going to be some disagreements.
Yeah, I knew you'd understand. Yasu-kun, take care of them for me, alright?
Sure.
Stop treating me like a child! Yeah, I swear I'll poop on you.
Oh my god, gross! Let's just get going, you two. And so the students walked off towards the stairs. It was kind of easy to tell what sort of relationship they had. Anyway, so they live in this building too.
Yep, it's a student dorm, you know.
A student dorm? In this hex film? Still, my senses had betrayed me. There actually were other people here.
And by the way, you didn't run into anyone else and get into trouble, right?
Yeah, I was careful on that front.
Good, let's get ready to go to the dining hall.
Oh, for breakfast?
Nope. Eat your breakfast now. We'll go to the dining hall to introduce you.
Huh? To who?
To whoever has a problem with an outsider coming from Saranaga.
Also, like that Teiba person, huh? I'm in your hands then.
It's fine. If you're that grateful, keep what happened this morning a secret.
Sure thing. What's Saranaga anyway? That river?
Yep, the river's called Saranaga Rapids, but the area around it is called Saranaga. The place has some cultural significance.
It does?
Yep, they say it's a corrupt place, but the dead return from the other side.
Oh. So that's why they'd reacted that way. Any other rules or customs I should be aware of?
Oh, there's lots. Just leave everything to me, alright?
Gladly on all fronts. If I may ask, am I in danger?
Nope, you should try to escape before something unpleasant happens to you.
And you're gonna lay the groundwork for that, huh?
Yep.
The settlement I strayed to was a weird place, but at least the guy was reliable. And she wanted me to leave ASAP, huh? That was depressing. Chimi gave me some cup ramen for breakfast. She boiled the water in a small electric kettle. The girl herself was too hungover to eat anything. I did take the opportunity to pay her back for last night's drinks in person, though. Then we made our way to the dining hall. What are these boulders?
They're like charms, I guess. They've been here forever.
I never seen anything like them anywhere else.
Oh yeah, I guess they're kind of unique in this area.
She led me along a narrow path that I'd followed earlier. It didn't seem like any cars used it this one. It was very farmy, I guess? This area was also littered with those boulders. Some were cracked, broken, or half buried in the fields. They were clearly religious symbols, but it didn't look like they were that important these days. Or were they? Now that I knew I was safe, I once again became curious about this place. Oh, there's a person. He was working on the field.
That's Takumi Michan. Morning!
Chimi waved her hand. The man responded, but then froze mid-wave.
Let's go.
Are you sure we should? The guy looked pretty surprised to see me.
Don't worry. He'll be at the dining hall soon. We'll explain things then.
Well, if she said so. As an outsider, I had no choice but to rely on her. This is the part of the village I saw this morning, where the buildings were more densely packed. I didn't notice back then, but it was actually kind of weird. Basically, it felt desolate. The wooden bungalows in particular were more or less overgrown, buried in tall grass and other greenery. If this was all I saw of the village and someone told me it was abandoned, I'd have easily believed them. However, two of the buildings stood out. There was a hall right beyond the hill. It wasn't that big, but it looked grand and well-maintained. Excuse me. The other building was obviously the dining hall. It looked a bit dirty, but I could tell there was people inside. From what I could tell, it was the most lively place in this poor excuse for a community. Suddenly, the three students walked out, chatting about something.
Hi, Nichan and Fushiashi-san.
Morning again. Aren't you late?
We took forever because Moji doesn't stop saying nonsense. Yes, I am evil. Give me miso soup.
Oh, you'll make it if you hurry. Behave in class, you guys. Half dashing, the three ran up the path we came from. You're all in high school, huh?
Yep, there's a branch school all the way up to the mountain. I was going there myself 3 years ago.
Sounds like a hassle. It's not all bad. At least we get to live in that dorm. June was entirely straight-faced. There wasn't even a hint of a smile.
Alright, let's get psyched!
Yeah!
I'm not convinced.
We laughed a little and passed the curtain. Welcome. Oh! The inside wasn't aged as the outside, but looked well maintained. Is he a visitor, Chimi-chan? The hostess looking lady asked. Though somewhat aged and fatigued, she was definitely beautiful. There were two others beside her. One was a lady in her 70s or 80s. She was probably the one I saw this morning. The silhouette matched. The other was a man who seemed a bit younger than her, probably in his late 60s. Though they were just sitting there, there was a menacing aura about them.
I'll introduce him. That was Haruki Fusashi. I found him at Saranaga last night and took him into my care.
The reactions were powerful. The lady gasped, while the two elders rose to their feet in alarm. The tension that was already there the moment I walked in reached its peak.
I know you're concerned, but this is just a coincidence. Unlike that little girl, he knows exactly where he came from. He went on an old path with his bike and crashed. It's actually really sad. That's why I think we should help him leave. What do you think?
After saying all that, Chimi fell silent. The ball was in their court now. Now that is troubling. The lady voiced a harmless opinion, careful not to upset the old people. It was pretty clear who was in charge. They were elders in more ways than one.
Chi-chan, why did you even go to the Saranaga at night?
I had a hunch, I guess. You know what happened? I couldn't fall asleep.
Then it's gotta be a Yomipito!
Shut it, Toy Boy! For the conversation, it was pretty clear that something had happened before I arrived here. It was probably similar to what happened with me. She'd mentioned some little girl. Perhaps I was a child who wandered in here like I did? According to Chimi, the Saranaga Rapids are a place of significance around here. It was a place for which the dead people came to life or whatever. So this Tay must have been the lady that Boyd mentioned.
And the Yamabito must have been a term for the dead who came from there. Apparently the primary goal here was convincing these elders to approve helping me.
Where you from?
The old man's voice but put my derailed mind back on track. I'm from Tokyo.
How old are you?
24.
Older than Chi, eh?
He chuckled. I immediately realized he was taking a jab at me for hiding behind a younger girl. Nice to meet you. I'm Haruaki Fusashi. Like she said, I wandered into town after my bike crashed. I seem to be a total outsider here, so I didn't want to speak out of turn. That's why I asked her to talk on my behalf. But I think I should say something at least. I won't trouble you any longer than I have to, so I would be grateful if you pardon my brief stay. And please don't blame her for helping me. Hey, Haruaki-san! I think she went against this village's customs by helping me out. The students also seemed surprised. My. I'm an adult. I'm willing to take responsibility for any trouble I've caused as best I can. So, please, put up with me. I bowed my head. He seems alright to me, Tei-Bei.
Don't know about that. Look at his hair. All colored brown.
What's wrong with brown? Shit, I forgot it didn't look very presentable to more traditionalist people. What? Outsiders are all like that. Let's just help him. I might help him get out of here, I says.
Do what you want.
The brown hairs. The goddamn brown hair people. I guess I got their half-hearted approval? Wait, who's talking? The grandma? Haruaki, Harué? Like my granddaughter. What a mess. Oh, so that means you're... Yep, he's Haru-chan's grandpa, Kanzo Makishima. A pleasure. I didn't know what else to say. Haru-chan and I weren't on the best terms so far. Anyway, it seems like we were past the difficult part.
Drove into Saranaga, eh?
Not exactly. I asked for directions at a convenience store, went down a side road, and ended up losing control of my unpaved section.
Yeah, way in Saranaga. Why didn't you turn around?
This game kind of looks like it's made in the RPG Maker engine. Really? How so? Well, I can see the art in the text, sure. Or the box where the text is, but everything else, not really. I don't see it much, but what do I know? He was impressed by my choice of actions. It just hit me that I had no idea how much time passed between the crash and my meeting with Taimi.
Takumin, I'll go see it.
Takumi's working in the field!
It's Taget Ama to leave. Let the boy help.
Wait, is this like an Irish accent? What? Originally released for mobile phones in Japan, oddly enough. Oh, okay. I guess that explains a couple of things. Like, the art does have some pixelation happening, which usually happens when you, like, try to... You either have it in low quality size or, like, you try to expand on the small format into a bigger format. So maybe that's it? Either or, whatever. It's not a big deal. You never change, Kanchan. What is up with these voices? You know what? We're gonna have to go crazy, folks. We're gonna have to go crazy with the voices. Let's see. You know what? You're big. You're bulky. So let's do something stupid. Let's bring in that Mario voice back, baby. I'm not very good at it, but let's go. Hee-hee! I'm Mario! What's going on here? My voice cracked out. Fuck. We're joined by a new inhabitant. Yahoo! Jimmy, who's that guy? Oh, Takumi Nichan. I can't even do the Mario voice, it's so bad. Or give him a hippie vibe. Like Shaggy? Like Soink Scoob? We can't do a hippie vibe. That might be better, actually. Ugh. Hey, man, what's going on here? Yeah, bruh. Like, everything's cool. Chill, man. Chill, man. Yeah, maybe a hippie might do a little bit better, just for shits and giggles than Mario. Oh, so here's the one who we saw in the field. Oh, he sure looked big from up close. All that field work was good for his muscles, clearly. And from what I could tell, he was in his 30s. As Shimi introduced me and told him my situation, I found out his name, Takumi Muro. Man, that must have been hard, bro. It's old man Konzo. We'll pick it up. Thought so. Teiba-chan, wait a bit while I help the guy. I already spread the stuff on the fields. Saw him mow the grass at noon. What a good boy. It ain't a big deal, man. I'll be so quick you'll think nothing happened. Good to hear. Nothing, eh? Boy. Huh? Me? What is it? You're in Yasumitsu. It ain't a good place. It was a place that wasn't good. Not many presents here? We don't like outsiders here, and outsiders should let sleeping dogs lie. So you should hurry and leave. That's the plan. So it's settled, man. Yep, thanks to Kumini-chan. I was beginning to understand how things worked here. Although Konzo Makishima's voice was the most powerful here, it was also important to get Tei-san's approval. Konzo-san was probably in charge of tackling the settlement's practical problems, while Tei-san provided spiritual and moral direction. Oh, goddammit. Misclick. When it was time to be civilized, Takumi-san came and convinced Tei-san acting as an intermediary. It looked like Takumi-san himself understood such subtleties, and Shimi really... Fuck! I can't read! Okay, I just can't fucking read! Fuck! And Shimi seemed to rely on the sight of him. Here you go. The lady brought some tea to the old folk. Perfect timing. Oh, Cory-san. Looking forward to getting some food, man. So that was her name. Sure, I'll make a lot. It'll be a reward for waking up early and working hard. Hey, I'm doing it for Yasumizu, Bei-chan, and you. It's nothing really, man. Oh my. These two sure seem to be getting along. They looked about the same age, too. Would you like something to eat, too? No thank you. I already ate. And there's some tea. I can also get you a light snack, if you like that. What would you say to some onigiri? Ooh, that would be... Sorry, we can borrow the phone. We need it quick. Oh? Sure, but why not have some tea first? Thanks, but it's urgent. Let's go, Haruki-san. Sure? It didn't look like I could say no. We went up the nearby stairs to what seemed like a living space. At the end of the creaky hallway, there was a black rotary phone, a rarity in this day and age. This is the only phone in all of Yasumitsu, by the way. Seriously? Oh, and not a single mobile service provider works in this area. Really? Wait, who do you want me to call anyway? Road service, insurance, stuff like that? A family if you have to? Ah, that made sense. Hell, I should have been the one to say that. Like I said, it'd be best if you left as soon as possible, so you should use everything you have. 'Cause outsiders aren't welcome here? Yep. And I shouldn't pry any further, huh? Haruki-san, I see you catch on quickly, that's good. But you also seem really curious. It shows, huh? Of course it does. Honestly, though, you should avoid sticking your nose into things. Because we'll part ways soon anyway. Oh, because we'll part ways soon anyway. Exactly. That's kind of sad. Oh, you want my contact info? If you're willing to give. Yay! That makes you guy number 53 on the list. Damn, if that ain't a letdown. We still went on to exchange our info. I can only hope that being number 53 wasn't a big deal of problem as it sounded. Anyway, I'd still like to know the reason why me being here is such a big deal. I don't recommend it. But why? Because it'd make me upset. You don't like it here? Yeah, I actually hate it. You seem to get along with the people, though. That's just how it looks. I was a huge problem child, so I feel kind of awkward around the older folk here. And there's tons of things you can't see right away. Oh, but I can't say I actually hate the people. With that, I decided to stop prying about this place any further. I'd back away before she came to hate me. Oh, can I ask one thing, though? Ooh, gutsy. Go ahead. Do you like that Takumi Moro guy? What, me? Like him? Yeah. No way. Takumi Nichan's cool and all, but he's too rugged and over a decade older than me. He's out of my strike zone. And he's always only had eyes for Kiyori-san. Sure felt like it. They married or something? Nope, Kiyori-san's a widow. Well, that seemed complicated. Aside, Chimi had been acting a bit strange. Why had she dragged me away from the tea? It seemed so awkward, too. Assuming she hadn't been jealous of Kiyori-san and simply didn't want her to charm me, it would mean that she just hadn't wanted me to drink the tea. Why? Also, why'd she feed me cup ramen if I could have just gotten food at the dining hall? Looking too deep into things was part of my nature, though things were never as bad as I assumed. I went on to call my insurance company, where I found out something. Apparently, this village was hundreds of kilometers away from the nearest service station, meaning I was ineligible for a normal service and had to pay extra. The extra was no small amount, too. I actually went over 100,000 yen. Fuck, man. Also, I could have avoided this if I'd taken a more expensive plan. This is all my own fault for not taking the bike salesman's advice. Shit. I said I would consider it and hang up. Then I went back to the dining hall. Damn, they are out of the network. Yep, and they love to charge you for being out of the network. Insurances, man. I swear to God. Huh? Where did Abra go? Ooh. The customers had changed completely. Tei-san, Kano-san, and Takumi-san were gone now. They were replaced by a caricature of a juvenile delinquent. Let's see. We have so many gruff-sounding people, too. Oh, the fuck are you? He shouted at me. He seemed like he was trying too hard. He then summoned his bowl and chopstick on the table and stood up to intimidate me. I'm Haruaki Fushiashi. The hell you wanna go? Goodness, Yoshitsugu. Wait, Yoshitsugu? Yeah, Yoshitsugu. You just choked on your water. Was that terrible? That's my Mickey Mouse voice. I'm trying that. Because we have so many gruff voices. My throat was hurting, so I'm like, okay. We gotta go light. We gotta go higher and stupid. Mickey Mouse it is. You don't talk like that to someone you just met. Shut up, Peg! Ginny, the hell's this asshole? Haruki-san, a traveler who crashed his bike. Boy, was that introduction half-assed. Let me introduce them to you. This is Kiyori Oribe and her second son, Yoshitsugu-kun. Yasunaga-kun's the first. Yeah, if it's as long as they say, your throat is going to be dying up at the end of this, yeah. Huh? Yasunaga-kun, guy you introduced me to this morning? Yep, they may not look it at first, but they're alike, don't you think? The Reeves. What an unpredictable family. Stop talking about bro, you ugly bitch! Call me that all you want, I'm confident in my popularity. And for what I see, that confidence was well justified. Fuck off, back to the city, you idiot! Stupid dumbass! Oh no, Haruki-san, I don't think I can argue with that. What? You were an idiot? Already then. Stupid! You're stupid! Oh, how mean. Join me, Yoshitsugu-kun. Stupid! Stupid! I have no idea what the fuck we're doing right now. Huh? What the hell? Don't talk shit about Chimi! You're pretty conflicted, aren't you? Sorry, Chimi-chan. I was just playing. Wow, one nice reversal after another. It takes quite a man to surprise me. I just don't want to lose to you, that's all. Oh, you did do something? Boy, did I wish. Stop it, Yoshitsugu. You're already late. Change and go to school. Shut up, I ain't going. Mumbling something, the kid walked out of the dining hall, leaving his half-full bowl behind. It's a shame you can't hear Haruki's foyer going, Baka! Baka! That actually does sound pretty funny. I'm sorry about that. How embarrassing. He's a really good boy deep down, though. Yeah, I can actually see that somewhat. By the way, where are Magashima-san and Moro-san? They went to pick up your bike. Oh no, I gotta hurry after them. Hey, they know where it is. They'll be fine, don't you think? Well, you just have to set it on neutral and push, but I'm not sure they'll know how to do it. And I, of all people, should help. They might go about it the wrong way. If that's all, then you shouldn't bother. Why? Because you're an outsider. I wouldn't suggest spending too much time alone with them. They didn't seem that bad to me. That's because they're adults. Don't assume everyone here is as welcoming as me. I'm an exception. You might get along fine, but you might also set them off. This place is already far from normal. Don't risk making it worse. She's right, I say. They insisted you leave it to them, so that's what you should do. You think so too? Yes, the men here are pretty serious about Yasumizu having its own way of doing things. I could somewhat understand that. A visitor should behave like one. Doing anything more would be uncalled for. It was an old-fashioned way of thinking, but this was an old-fashioned kind of place for sure. Where do we wait then? At my place? Expected as much, but it still made me curious. Normally you'd expect we'd sit around and drink some tea right here, so why didn't we? As we waited, Chimi, casually but uncomfortably, told me several things. First, I found out that the people here in Yasumizu were a bit on edge right now. The reason for that was the fact that, excluding me, they had 3 whole outsiders here. 3? Wow. Not just 2, 3. I'd assumed this myself from what I knew so far, but apparently yesterday morning a little girl was found straying around the Saranaga Rapids. They couldn't even find out her name, let alone who her parents were, so they didn't know how to handle her. For now, one of the inhabitants was looking after her. Like I've been told, the more superstitious inhabitants, Tae-san mostly, saw her as about omen. What I suggested leaving her to the police, but Chimi didn't seem to think it was a good idea. It really made sense to me, but if I were to believe her, things around here were such that not even the cops could do anything. And apparently the remaining 2 outsiders were a pair of journalists gathering info for a magazine article. Unlike the little girl and I, they'd come here via the normal route, through Kamifujiyoshi, and therefore weren't considered a bad omen or whatever. Still, even normal outsiders put the people here on edge. Through this talk, I also got some details about the area itself. Okay. So that's where we were, I think? Yasumizu was a settlement part of an autonomous region called Fujiyoshi Village, or simply Fujiyoshi. It also been on the maps I'd been shown at the store. Fujiyoshi was split into 2 areas, Yasumizu and Kamifujiyoshi. They are separated by a mountain. Going to Kamifujiyoshi took about an hour by foot, or 20 minutes by car on the winding but paved road. So I know the schools the students went to was Kamifujiyoshi. These 2 settlements had ties so strong they shared customs and culture. Chimney said the local season's events were quite unconventional. I asked her to elaborate, but all she would say was that Yasumisu had special meaning to Fujiyoshi. She's making me more suspicious than I wanted it to be. This conversation wasn't nearly as exciting as the one we had last night. Well, at least I found out she didn't have a boyfriend right now. Very intriguing. At least he's still trying to get game around here. At least he's still trying to get game. It was nearly noon when Takumi-san came back, ending my waiting game. So I know the door was fully open the entire time we waited. It was probably Chimi's way of saying that nothing bad was happening here. Man, bags sure are heavy, eh? Ain't as heavy as the boar of the caught last year. I really didn't expect them to just carry it here. Like, sure, there were 2 of them, but just how much mass do you have to haul a 200 kg piece of metal so easily? The unpaved road and the river made my sweet ride really damn muddy. How did you bring it up the cliff? There's a pulley. We bring stuff from the bottom every now and then. Takumi! Oh yeah, now's not the time for that. Hey, you think this is alright? It looks pretty damn wet. I'm not sure. I'll check. I'll leave the rest to you then. Oh man, this took longer than I thought it would. It'd fine if I do the sharpening tomorrow? Huh. I saw them off with a loud thank you. Now then. Need help? Let's see what I can do by myself first. The worst part of the repairs was right at the beginning. I wanted to start by washing it, but that old lady, Teyamawaki was her full name, got really mad at me. She didn't want any Suranaga mud on the ground here because it was corrupt or something. But the plaza was the only place with easy access to a water supply's top, so I did my best and convinced her to let me wash it as close to the edge as possible. Once it was clean, I could start checking what was wrong with it. It actually looked pretty good. Bent in places, sure, but the wash got rid of the bad sound the wheels made. The other problem was that both tires were flat. It was a pretty big one. He didn't bring tools? Nope. Aren't you supposed to whenever you go on a bike trip? I just thought I could call road service and they'd do all the work. So unprepared. I have no excuse. Honestly, I was having a moment when I went out. Didn't think things through. Oh, can I ask you what happened? My girlfriend left me. That seems like a lie. It wasn't. In any case, anywhere I could get tools to fix that flat tire? Oh, I wonder if that was from the other guy, just the name didn't change. Oops. There might be some in the Nasato Mansion. Nasato Mansion? Yep, it's the biggest place in Yasumisu. If you can't find something there, you won't find it anywhere else in the village. I see. Well, let's give it a shot. I don't really recommend meeting the guy, but I can't think of any other ideas. So unimportant again? Yep, and he's kind of messed up to boot. And so we walked up the hill and arrived at the so-called Nasato Mansion. From what I could tell, it was located at the highest point in the settlement. And like Chimi said, it was definitely a hell of a building. It had an elegant Western design, which would probably look even better if the place were better maintained. The yard was overgrown, and the building itself was pretty much buried in ivy and small trees. If someone told me it was cursed, I'd instantly believe them. Do people actually live here? I wonder if the intercoms work. She pressed a button next to the iron gate. Yasumisu was a quiet place, so it could easily hear the bell ringing inside. Should we try again? Let's not. We'll piss him off. Moody guy, huh? Moody? Yeah, that's pretty accurate. I wasn't sure what she meant, but I opted to just wait rather than ask more questions. Soon enough, the person in question walked out of the mansion. Oh, what shall we do for you, my friend? What shall we do for you? I mean, I guess we could do the Irish voice for this guy. Might as well. I don't know what else to do for him. What is it? Who are you? This is the Mario guy? Oh, we want the Mario guy for this one? Yeah, okay, I could do the Mario guy for this one. That's fine. He wasn't young, but he didn't look middle-aged either. He certainly looked high-strung. That much was sure. Hello, Nasato-san. It's Serizawa. Okay. Yippee! I got it! I know you, Shimi Serizawa! I'm asking the young man in front of you! My Mario was so fucking bad. God damn it. Hiroaki-san, this is Kyo no Saku. Nosata-san. Kyo no Soku, this is Haruki's Fushi-sas. Oh my god, these fucking names! Oh my god, I can't say these names! I'm gonna go out crazy! Oh. It's okay, it's a great. It just shows how broken his voice is, but how serious he takes everything. This bro's gone to an accident because he's an idiot. There you go. That introduction was the briefest one yet. Huh? What? I explained the situation again. He furrowed his brow when I mentioned the Saranaga, in addition to the reason we were here. Shibuwaku Fabuka Kakashi-sa. You look at this man, you think main Mario brother energy? This is Luigi. Oh, Mario! I probably could pull off a Luigi a little bit better now that I think about it. So, I need repair tools so I can get out of here as soon as possible. Are there tire tubeless? Huh? I have patches, but I think fixing tubeless tires would be a bit too much for an amateur. Though there's no problem if you aren't. Oh, but the tube burst. You have no choice but to change it. I don't have any spares here, obviously. I wouldn't give them if I did. Sorry, but I'm not too knowledgeable about that. What a waste of time! I recommend spending however many thousands you need to have a repairman come and pick you up. I had no retort to that. Oh, but Nasato-san, I don't think we can have any more outsiders come here right now. Huh? Have you been to a proper city? Don't tell me you still believe that nonsense. I'd be fine with it, but I doubt the elders would be. We've had too many visitors these past few days. I don't care what Yasuma's peasants think. What do you expect me to do anyway? Fix the tires myself and get oil all over me? Don't you look how freaking pish and posh I look? God damn it, people. Oh, I never suggest that. I just think that a Fujiyoshi village ahead should help a troubled visitor. Huh. How about relying on me only when it's convenient? You just give him a traditional Yasumisu welcome. You know, throw him off the cliff. Whoa, what the hell? Come on, you can't say that. Kimi's tone was slightly off. I get a little bit of irritation behind her words. I know it might be a bother, but can you at least lend me the tools? What? I'll just borrow them. You won't hear or see me work. I can even pay. Well, I don't mind that much, but I want compensation for everything you break. Sooner or not, I'll have you act proper. Then he pointed me to the garage and I walked back to the mansion. Man, I thought we were screwed there. What the hell's a burst tube? Wow, that's so lame. What, you think every biker can fix a bike just by bashing it with a wrench or something? I don't know, but aren't there a lot of girls who are into guys good with cars and stuff? Oh, so you're into Nasatoshi? Nope, he's just acting like he's smart. He probably never repaired a thing in his life. The guy's not nearly as experienced as he'd have you think. Huh. But why does he have a bike repair stuff? The Nasato mansion is basically the Yasumisu branch of the Nasato family. Their main mansion is in Kamifujiyoshi. Whatever they don't need there, they send over here. I heard Kiyonosuke was given a car fix 5 or 6 years ago, but he couldn't drive it at all, so it's been gathering dust ever since. Damn, that was a countryside for you. Couldn't handle your shame if your life depended on it. Anyway, I now knew that the man was the condescending, pretentious type. He still helped me out though, and it was true I didn't know much about bike repairs, so I couldn't really get mad. Anyway, let's just take everything that looks like it could be useful. Like bandits, huh? I'm in! Sure not bothering you?
I'd feel down with anyone to talk to. Just keep chatting with me, it helps. The instructions that came with the repair kit told me that my bike's tires were rather a difficult type to repair. Apparently I had to remove the tires, but where did I even start with that? Well, as long as I didn't break it, nothing I did could be worse than having a call road service down here, so I just tried taking it apart. But as I removed whatever nuts I could, I made the situation even worse than it was. Yep, this really wasn't a job for an amateur.
You seem to be having a rough time. You can eat this too, Chimi-chan.
The generic repair kit had instructions for specifically your bike. And he still doesn't read it or do anything with it. What an idiot.
Wow, thank you.
Well, this looks serious, man. Machines are just no good.
Hey, the benefits of culture are great as long as they don't break. Think you can fix it for sundown? That might be hard. Don't worry though. Worst comes to worst, I'll do something.
Really appreciated how she handled the visitors in my stead.
Hey, Ginny! Is it hard to get the bike license?
I don't know. I know that scooter licenses are easy. I have one myself. Mid-sized bike licenses are pretty hard to get. You even need to take a course, just like with cars. Like bikes?
The hell? What's the matter with you? How much was that anyway?
800,000 yen, brand new.
Holy shit, what the fuck? That's way too high! You an idiot or what? How'd you get that much?
Part-time jobs and all that.
And you got it into an accident. Poor Haruki.
Chimi-sensei, if I may ask, what happened to my share of the food?
Oh no, I ate it all! Poor Haruki-san!
I didn't want sympathy from the one responsible. I told her off for now. As I told her off for not leaving me any food, I somehow removed the tires. I could only hope I'd be able to fix this up. It had this thing for less than a month, but the trouble it was putting me through made it feel somewhat dear to me. I wanted to fire it up again and make it go as fast as I could. Suddenly I heard an engine. It felt like it was just mocking me. Hold on. It engined? Here? I stopped working and turned around to see an unfamiliar van drive into the plaza. Bearing the classic-looking piece of junk in Nasato's garage. This is the first time I've seen a car here. As far as I knew, no one living here actually owned a rented car, so...
These are the journalists I told you about.
I knew it. Once the van stopped, a lady stepped out of it. Fuck, I'm running out of voices! So many voices! Why are there voices? So many voices. Why isn't there voice acting for this for me to not have to worry? This would be great. Oh, I'm getting so tired. My brain can't think. Me cannot think. Me do not know what voice to do. God, I was able to pull up so many voices in Deathmark, but this one I'm just like struggling. Then again, I am half tired, so. But we might be ending the stream a little, pretty soon though. I'll see if I can hit that 2-hour mark, and then once we hit the 2-hour mark, I might find a decent spot to stop and then, call it a stream. Oof. There's voice acting, it's just all in Japanese. Yeah. That's the sucky part, though. It's like... It's always a mixed bag, I feel like, to have that, honestly. Wow, that tired, huh? Yeah. Apparently, I'm trying to check off the tired, but I'm just like... I don't know what's wrong with me. Couldn't sleep all night, and now it's just like, yep, time to go to bed. Dear devs, please get voice acting. I'm tired. Tara DeFox. Hello. Oh, she's pretty.
Hello!
I'll be bothering you again today.
You're a new face. Hello, my name's Haruki. Bike crash. Don't be so hard on yourself. Crap, that was no time for an inside joke. Quickly introduce myself properly. I crashed not too far away, so I'm stuck here for the time being. I see. So you're a student. Sorry about the trouble you're going through. Oh, and this is me. The woman gave me her business card. Hisako Mamiya, a freelance writer. Her pen name was Kyoko Husei. Have you ever read Kyoko Husei's articles?
Sorry.
Figured. I'm not a big name yet. And the magazines I do get printed are in the market for housewives and the elderly.
That's some pretty intense competition. What do you write anyway?
Food reviews. I specialize in unusual dishes.
Like the foulest smelling canned food in the world or something?
Yep. Well, your usual brand of weirdness doesn't attract much attention these days. So I'm looking for minor culinary oddities local to Japan. Anyway, if you know any weird dishes from your hometown, do tell me. I've traveled the length of Japan to give it a try.
A student from the lab I frequented once made pork miso soup with a mushroom he found on campus. We had mass hallucinations and...
No flashes of brilliance or poisons, please.
So chatted, I became curious. By the way, weren't there two of you?
Yes, I'm here with a partner. He just needs some time to... Oh, there he is.
I looked at the fan and became completely awestruck. I feel like the van had shed its skin or something. That made no sense, but seriously, how did this fit in there? Big guy, huh? Alright. He was gargantuan! Takumi-san was something, but this man was on the level of a foreign heavyweight wrestler. Though, unlike Takumi-san, this man was primarily fat rather than muscle. As I walked out of the river's seat, the van shook wildly.
Yudai Hashimoto-san, a photographer. He's way more famous than me. He works in all sorts of fields. I imagine you've seen some of his photos without even knowing it.
Didn't know much about photography, but I was definitely convinced. There was a certain kind of authority or gravity around him. He wasn't saying a word. I could tell what he was thinking. Oh, excuse me. Nice to meet you. I'm Haruki Fusaishi. Was he even alive?
Hello.
After a strange pause, he slowly bowed like the moving mountain he was, and greeted me with a voice like a titan.
A powerful titan!
He seemed somewhat difficult to interact with.
This is your last day here, isn't it? Yes. Oribi-san said she'd let me try her prize Janaire.
God damn it, no.
I don't know if an outsider can handle it. I have my stomach medicine. I'm sure I'll be fine.
And so Mamayashi and Hashimoto-shi walked off to the dining hall. Who would have thought that such a beauty was a delicacy hunter? I had to admit that gap was kind of charming. As intriguing as I was, I couldn't waste any more time. I had to fix my bike already. Holy shit, why am I getting so many voices? I don't want more characters. I don't want more characters. I can't voice as many. Whoa! A lot of things had surprised me here in Yasumisu, but nothing as much as this. Hello? No reaction. At first glance, he looked like a poor man too senile to think and perceive properly. You need something from me? I made sure to speak as clearly as possible. It didn't look like he understood. I figured it was best to just ignore him and resume the repairs, but... Coming! I looked at him again. He was just still standing there like his soul and brain had left his body.
A vacant stare, yellowed eyes, half-open mouth covered in saliva.
Coming!
He spoke again. What's coming?
The war!
What? His voice was too hoarse to make out. Come again? I placed my hand against my ear. He finally understood what I wanted and prepared to whisper something. I brought my ear closer and...
The wolf is coming!
I love how everyone I've seen stream this looks at this old man and goes for the exact same voice. Peak character design. Well, at least I'm part of the crowd in some shape, way, or form. And too much love, Marinhaka, too much love. The sudden shout caught me completely off guard and made me fall to the ground. He looked down at me, laughing. He clapped and opened his half-toothless mouth into a wide smile.
The wolf is coming! The wolf is coming!
He bent his body in a weird way, laughed like he was convulsing, turned around, and just left. Haruki-san! Oh, I'm too late! Shimiya joined the journalist and only just came back. Late for what? Cramps over there loves messing around with strangers like that. Wait, that's your grandpa? No, I don't even know his name. He's been Yasumitsu forever, and he's always like that. I felt less like he was just messing around and more like he's a bit touched. Yeah, everyone calls him the old man who cried wolf. Named after the boy who cried wolf, I assume. Doesn't work as well, though. Wolves, eh? As far as I knew, there were no wild wolves in Japan. There used to be, but after the last sighting in either the Meiji or Showa era, they've been considered extinct here. Trying to throw some love so you stay awake. I'm trying. Says the wolf is coming, refuses to elaborate, leaves. Sounds about right, you know, from people screaming about, oh, something's happening, but we're not gonna elaborate or say further, just say it matter-of-factly, and then just go the fuck away. Modern Japan's image of wolves come from Western fairy tales and the like. It wasn't linked to anything in our culture or life. Even the boy who cried wolf was a Western tale. Did this brand of his sanity make him repeat the tale or something? A bit weirded out by the circumstances, I went back to repairing my bike. Okay, how can we... Ah, safe, right here. Did I save? I'm confused. Okay. Oh, this is my scenario chart. Interesting. Well, we could have gone through a different way too somewhere, but no big deal. Not too worried about it. So like I said, we'll stick with the pathway we are going through right now. Just see where it takes us. But for further pathways, folks, you'll have to tune in next time for more Raging Loop. So far, not really ragey, but who knows? Maybe we'll get the whole village losing their freaking minds or something. Who knows? Who knows? I don't know. Do you guys know? I don't know. So we'll figure it out next time. And hopefully next time's a longer stream, because I'm just gonna go to bed. I'm so tired. I don't know why. Hope you have a better rest of your day and have a good nap. I will. I totally will. I'm gonna yoink my cat from my chair right here, and I'm just gonna toss her to bed, and we're just gonna cuddle and fall asleep. Yeah, just cuddle. Aggressively cuddle. But yeah, definitely gonna get some sleep. And maybe then my brain won't be so mush. Blech. Alrighty, folks. Till next time. I am Turtle Fox. You guys have been the viewers. And of course, I hope to see you all next time.